Hi, guys. Welcome to Be Inspired. And tonight we have a special guest, Kamar. Welcome, Kamar.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Welcome to everybody in the chat. If you guys, if you're listening and you have any question during the course, just drop it in the chat and I will see it afterwards. Right? So, Kamar, tell us about yourself. Who is Kamar?
Who is Kamar? Wow. Super simple. Grew up south of Atlanta to a single parent mom. Grew up playing basketball, went to college. I was one of those kids that my dream was to go to the NBA. And
Oh,
yeah, I had the nerve to believe that, I was
yeah.
going to go to the NBA and I was going to be rich and I was going to do all this cool stuff, and that didn't quite work out.
Wait, were
And
you really good at basketball?
I
Were
was
you?
good. I at
Oh,
least I
all
thought
right.
I was good.
Okay. Uh,
Everybody say they were good, but I was good enough to get a scholarship. Let's say that I went to school for free. I got a full ride.
nice.
And I don't know. As life would have it, yeah, it that road came to an end, and then that's how I transitioned to entrepreneurship. You know, um, and it's been a fun ride. Even though
Yeah.
it's had its ups and downs, of course, but it's been a fun ride ever since.
Nice. So you said you transitioned to entrepreneurship. Is it because so basketball didn't happen? You finished college. What did you study in college?
Marketing, surprisingly. So let me tell you. So this is you're gonna laugh at, if you think that's funny, you're gonna laugh at this. So I remember I wanted to be an architect. That was my actually a passion of mine. I was very good um, with art. Art was my first love before sports, and I was really good at math. So you put two and two together, and I was like, man, I think this architecture thing could be cool. So when I got my scholarship, I remember my coach. He came and said, "Hey, what do what would you like to major in?" And I
Hmm.
said, "Oh, I want to be an architect." And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have that program here." Now keep in mind, I already signed the scholarship.
Yeah.
I'm at school. Like this is the first week of school, you know, and we're like, finalizing the courses that we want to enroll in.
Hmm.
Probably would have been a good idea to ask him that before I signed the
Before.
scholarship, right?
Yeah.
Hey, 18 years old. That's because again, my goal is to go to the NBA, so it doesn't really matter what I'm a major in, right?
Yeah.
So that was my thought process. So
Hmm.
and so he said, "Yeah, we don't have that program," and I was like, "Damn." He said, "Well, you got to pick something else. Don't laugh at me. Listen, don't judge." I called my cousin. I said, "Hey, man, he was older. He was older than me, and I always respected him." I said, "What was that Eddie Murphy did in Boomerang?" And he said marketing. I said, "All right, I want to do marketing. Then that's what I'm doing." Because listen, now check this out. Understand this. You remember that movie, right?
I can't believe you did
I
that.
swear to God, you remember that movie, right?
Yeah.
So that was the first time I saw, you know, black and brown brothers and sisters, you know, like living the good life. And they weren't athletes, they weren't doctors, lawyers, you know. They were doing well, dressed real
Yeah.
nice, ate at the best restaurants, Eddie Murphy's character in the movie, he had this nice, like plushed out loft, and it was just living the life, and
Yeah.
I was very impressed with that, as a child. It's like, man, that was like
Hmm.
my first glimpse of black excellence, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I wanted, he had all the ladies, so I was like,
Well, that was
I,
a part of it,
yeah,
hey?
I want to do that, and and so that's why I chose the major. And so, lucky for me, it fit with my personality. I want to have fun. I like coming up with, cool creative ideas, being able to come up with, marketing campaigns and stuff. Little did I know that I wasn't going to learn any of that in college. I didn't learn any of that in college, and for those of you who are watching, if you were a marketing major at your school, maybe your program was different from mine, because I didn't learn a thing about business or marketing in college. Every piece of value that I got about entrepreneurship came after college. Um,
In the
and
field.
basketball not working out for me, that just made me focus on the reality of life faster.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So basketball. Why didn't basketball work out though?
I wasn't good enough. It's just
Oh, there we go. So you
yeah,
weren't.
no, and I'm just keeping it real. I'm not gonna say yeah. I remember. Check this out. So I remember I was substitute teaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 6'5",
Oh,
and
tall, tall.
yeah, and so the kids were like, Mr. Zachery, man, you're so tall. Why didn't you go to the NBA? I was like, first of all, you don't choose not to go to the NBA.
Exactly.
You don't get chose. That's 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 the better question.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I wasn't good enough. I didn't have the stats. I didn't have a
Yeah.
tryout. Nobody was inviting me to an NBA tryout.
Oh my
And
god.
so yeah, when we lost our last game my senior year,
That was
I
it.
had an idea. Now I will say this: I had an opportunity to go overseas and play professional basketball.
Nice.
It ain't the NBA, but it would have gave me an opportunity to continue doing something that I love, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But there was a spring break my senior year, and so this is kind of what really made me break up with basketball, because it was almost like a relationship. It
Oh
was like
my
it was a lifelong. Seriously, when I tell you basketball was the priority, um, girls that I dated, I hate to say it, but basketball was the priority.
Yep.
Basketball was more of a priority, than my schoolwork. My mom would threaten me with basketball to make sure that I was doing my schoolwork. And so basketball kept me from, it kept me out of trouble, because again, my mom would use basketball kind of as that dangling carrot. She'd say, hey, listen, if you get kicked out of class again, I'm pulling you off the team.
Oh.
Hey, if you don't, yeah, she started using it for everything. Hey, if you don't cut that grass this weekend, I'm pulling you off the team. And so basketball was the love of my life, and I never thought that there would come a time where I could walk away from basketball. And so here's what happened. So spring break, my senior year, I'm realizing that man, my basketball career is coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this fear, because I'm like, man, this is the first time. I'm at the time I'm like 20, 21 years old. I'm like, this is the first time ever where I'm really having to consider, how am I going to survive after college? Like, what am I going to do for money? I'm going to have to go get a job, And so, I spent spring break with my cousin, and she was dating this guy, and they lived in this beautiful home. It was a corner lot, and they lived on a lake.
Nice.
And he didn't work. He had a GED. She had a job, but her salary was maybe $35,000 a day. So I'm trying to do the math in my head. I'm like, how do they
It makes
how do
sense.
they afford this place? It's a
Mm-hmm.
5,000 square foot home. How do they afford this? And my family members, they were like, man, maybe he sells drugs, or because he didn't work. And so you got to think about it. That's the only logic we can come up with. In my culture, if you see a person living well, but they don't go to a job, in your mind, you automatically think bad. You're like, man, he got to be selling drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And, fast forward, he was in real estate. He wasn't a real estate agent, but he was an investor. And I saw him make $35,000 in 2.5 weeks off of one real estate deal. And I was hooked. I was hooked. I was like, man, because he didn't look like what I thought an entrepreneur
It look
should
like.
look like. He was an average guy. He didn't have the education credentials that I thought someone who was successful would have,
Mm-hmm.
because that's all I was exposed to, right? He didn't have a traditional schedule. I mean, he woke up 11 a.m. on a weekday.
Hey.
And he was walking around with a Nike hoodie and some sweatpants and some Timberlands, and so he didn't, in my mind, I was like, it doesn't make sense. And he told me, he was like, yeah, man, after you graduate, I'll show you what it is, I'll show you how to do this stuff. And that's when I was. It was that weekend. That's when I walked away from basketball, because I said, man, I can make pro basketball money from
Yep.
doing something like this, and I can play this game forever. With basketball,
No injuries too.
no injuries. With basketball, yeah, there's injuries. And eventually you just get to a point to where your body just won't let you go.
Yep.
Even LeBron, I think LeBron is the greatest athlete in the world today.
Yep.
Even he's eventually going to walk away from the game.
Yeah, he has to though. He has.
Yeah, and so basketball not working out for me just gave me kind of a head start on the path that I would grow to love. And I've loved business the same exact way, that the type of commitment and the attention to details, the late nights, the early mornings. I love that the way I did playing basketball.
Interesting. I want to ask you this: do you still play for fun?
No, no, no. It's funny.
What?
No, no, no.
No, no one on one. No.
Because like, I'm competitive, right?
Yeah.
And so the only difference is, like, back then when I was playing in my younger days, if I got injured, I just missed a couple of practices, maybe a few games.
Mm-hmm.
I get my ankle taped up, or however I get injured. I go to the clinic and I'm good, or I miss a few days of class.
Mm-hmm.
Out here in the real world, no, no, I am not about to go out and injure myself over a game of basketball.
It's for fun.
Uh-uh, 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 uh-uh.
Okay, so now
Your body, you don't heal the same.
no, you don't.
And I can't be walking around here on crutches, because I messed up my ankle or
Hey,
tore
crutches,
an ACL.
crutches are
Nah.
cute.
Mm-mm. Uh,
So, how did you get involved with Lavell? How did
so
that happen?
so on the journey of entrepreneurship, um several different ups and downs. I compare it to relationships. In your quest for love, you're gonna date a few people, maybe. Most people,
Yeah,
the average person, very few people find the love of their life the first time.
one time. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Very few people,
Fair.
very few people. And then when that happens, let me just say this: when that happens, you don't really have anything to compare it to. So you don't know if you got lucky or if you didn't get lucky.
True.
you know. And so with business, I've done a lot of different businesses.
Mhm.
I was always learning, and so each company that I got involved with made a little bit more money. I learned a lot more though. So I learned a lot more, but I made a little bit more money.
More, yeah.
And so I met my friend Rodney Foster. I met him in a previous company that we were in. It was a coffee company. We were selling coffee, and I was in that company for about 4 or 5 years, and Rodney had more success than I had in that company.
Hmm.
He left, and I thought he was crazy. I was like, dude, this is
Oh,
like
you
you.
were one of them that thought he was crazy.
I was like, dude, man, you tripping, man. What are you doing? Because again, I had my blinders on. It goes back to a relationship. If you're with someone and you're happy, you should have your blinders up. You shouldn't be entertaining other opportunities. You should think your significant other is crazy if they're wanting to walk away. You're like, what? What do you mean?
Yep.
And so when I saw people leave my company, I looked at them like, y'all are crazy. And so fast forward, Rodney went on to have success. He went on to have success.
Hmm.
I was happy for him, but I still didn't want to be a part of his company, you know. And times changed, things got rough. I was substitute teaching. I was trying to, launch an apparel business. I was, looking at getting into pharmaceutical sales. So again, instead of me being focused on one thing, now because I'm not happy, I'm looking for that happiness. I'm looking to be fulfilled
Hmm.
multiple places. That's why I compare this to a relationship. And so yeah, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have multiple streams of income, but in the context of where I'm getting at, you know, uh, Rodney one day he said, man, I admire you. And I was like, thanks. He was like, no, man. He was like, man, you work really hard and you good at what you do. He said, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, why is it that you work harder than I do? Why is it that you don't live the lifestyle I live? That's a punch to the gut. How would you feel if somebody told you, Shar, you work harder than me. Why don't you live the life I live? And
Listen,
they traveling. They can
living
go
it
they
up.
can go shut the Gucci store down today. Driving a nice car. Their car that they drive is on your vision board. The high-rise apartment that they live in is on your vision board, and
Hmm.
they didn't even know it was on your vision board. They're buying one-way tickets to different destinations that you only dream of going to. They buying a one-way ticket because they don't even know when they want to come back.
Bruh.
And that person tells you you work harder than them.
That's like a slap in the face. Like, what?
Right, right. So that caught my attention. That next day, I got started. I joined Lavell. Um, I'm one of those people. Everybody's different. I'm one of those people. It wasn't the product. I'll be lying if I said
It was
I
a performance.
joined because I was looking for a supplement that could help me feel better in the morning. It could give me energy, help me lose a few pounds. No, I was looking for a vehicle, a way that I could live the lifestyle that I wanted to live. And so, had he tried to talk to me about product, oh yeah, man, it's a three-step system. Take the capsules first thing in the morning. 20 minutes later, drink the lifestyle mix, and then after that, you apply the dermafusion technology. He no, he would have lost me. And so we have to be conscious of who it is that we're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
And just because there was one particular thing that caught us on fire doesn't exactly mean that that's going to be the reason that the next person gets excited. And
Absolutely.
so he was able to speak to me in a way to where I would understand, because he knew me. We were friends. And I was on the phone with a young lady yesterday, and I was telling her, and there's no blanket approach to getting people, interested in taking a look at this opportunity or taking a look at this product, because everybody's different. Everybody has a different desire. No one's waking up in the morning excited to look for a network marketing company.
No.
No one's excited to wake up to go find a supplement that they can take and it's going to give them some energy. I read it in an article. People will pay more for the cure than they will the prevention. They'll
Mm-hmm.
spend a fortune on the cure. They won't spend pennies on the prevention.
Exactly.
And so that's just, that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I got started, substitute teacher. Now I got started in the month of December. So think about this. Substitute teachers don't get paid for holidays. Substitute teachers don't get paid on the weekends unless you show up for class and you punch in that time clock. You do not get paid. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
got started in January. Christmas break. I mean, not January, December. Christmas break starts in December. The kids were going to be out of school for at least 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. So that's 2 to 3 weeks of me not having an income, right?
Yep.
So the Thrive experience sounded real good then, because I saw that this could pay my car note. This could pay my rent. I'm not trying to be a Lavell millionaire. I'm not even trying to make 100,000. I just want to pay my rent. I just want to pay my car note. I don't even want to hit the rank advance bonuses. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to go on the lifestyle getaways. I want to pay my rent. And so that was my motivation for getting started. Now, once I tried the product, everything after that was icing on the cake. Of course, I felt amazing. I had some of the best sleep I had ever had.
Great.
Energy was through the roof. I wasn't drinking coffee. I wasn't relying on energy drinks. Speaking of, hold on just a second.
What you going to get now? Guys, remember, if you have any comments, put it in the
I
section.
had
Are you
I
cooking?
had some oatmeal on, a little
Okay.
little midday snack. But listen, hey,
Midday.
listen. There was a time where I would snack on potato chips and cookies all day. Now here it is. I'm fixing me as oatmeal. Like raw oatmeal. I'm not adding anything to it. But of course, like I felt amazing. I wasn't drinking the energy drinks.
Mhm.
I wasn't drinking the coffee. As a substitute teacher, I would always go to the teachers' lounge and drink 3, 4 cups of coffee. I was spending $5 a day at the vending machine. Snacks,
Oh, God.
Cheetos, cheese crackers, popcorn, fruit snacks, cookies. Um, you know, because my body was just looking for something. And so I tried the product just by default
Hmm.
because I wanted to do the business. I already saw it work for other people, so I didn't feel like I needed to see what it was going to do for me before I had confidence in telling other people. And again, everybody's different. You have some people. I know people who are very successful in this business, and they didn't want to get started until they had their own experience with the product. And I totally respect that. And I grew to love the difference in everybody's journey.
Hmm. So you try the product because it was my start was different from yours. I actually tried the product first and
Okay.
fell in love with it, and then decided. But first of all, when I tried it, I thought it was just a mind thing because I put it on and I went to work and I'm like, it was during December and I'm singing Christmas carols and I'm playing. I'm like, okay, this is weird. The next day, I'm like, I'm still singing Christmas carols and I'm happy to be at the office. I'm like, something's wrong.
Wow.
Something's wrong. And I'm just like, it kept going. So I absolutely fell in love with it. And now, I always have on my thing and whatever. When people ask me, it's like, I light up because like, it's so amazing the energy that you get from it. Because I do so much. And then this really helps me out. Because like before, I did it, but there was no smile on my face when I was doing
Oh,
you
okay.
know, now there's a smile on my face because I can keep going and I'm good. So
Yeah, I can't see you're glowing right now. I can't imagine you not smiling.
not smiling. Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah, it definitely it was a game changer for me for sure. Super excited about it. And like you said, you gotta know your audience because not everybody is gonna get excited about trying it. Some are you have to approach it different with every single person. But
Absolutely.
eventually they get to the product though. And once they
Yeah.
get to the product, they're not going anywhere.
The
They're gonna
product
stay there.
it's funny. We always say people a lot of times customers will join uh because of curiosity,
Yep.
but they'll stay because the product actually works.
Yep. It does. I tell you, yes, you hooked me in because I saw her in IG because she didn't even approach me. I saw the patch and I'm like, "Ooh, that looks cool. Like, what is that?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That patch got me. I was just like, I want to wear that. Like, that's so cool. But yeah, that's how I got started.
So
Um,
what was let me ask, so what was the it was the patch that piqued your
that pulled
interest.
me in. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was the patch. It was
Wow.
in the patch because I saw it. I'm like, wait, what are you wearing? I'm just like, okay, hi. Like,
I don't know if that's me. Am I frozen? I don't know. You're frozen. No, so on my end you're frozen. I don't know if it's me or not, or if it's I don't know if it's my connection or if it's your connection. Looks like it's still going. So, ladies and gentlemen, Shar took a quick break. I'm sure she'll be right back, but so I'll just continue running my mouth while I'm here. But yeah, the product is amazing. For those of you who are watching this and you have not had an opportunity to experience it for yourself, give yourself telling you 3 to 10 days, 3 to 10 mornings on an empty stomach. You'll be glad you took a chance and you invested in yourself.
thank you for continuing from. I don't know what happened to my Wi-Fi.
It's all good. It's all good.
I literally went upstairs. I'm like, what happened? Oh my God. But yeah, I was saying that the patch really pulled me in when I saw her do it. Then I reached out to her, like, and I just tried it as a customer.
Hmm.
And then when I was looking at her, so you can be a promoter. So I was like, what is this? So I reached out to her and, she told me what it was about and stuff. And I debated for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I was like, all right, why not? And, I came on and, I wanted to tell us about your journey when you came on. Because when you come on to any network marketing, there's a learning curve as well. And also putting yourself out there,
Mm-hmm.
that's another challenge in itself. If you're not used to like putting yourself out there, when it comes to network marketing, you kind of have to. So kind of walk us through how, because you were part of network marketing before, but like, the beginning phases, you knew coming into this, like, what's the approach?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right. I don't. People say this all the time. They say, "Oh, I'm not good at sales," and I said, "You know what? I would rather have someone who's not good at sales, but they did have confidence in themselves. You have to have confidence because at the end of the day, I mean, think about it. You join a network marketing company. This means that you have the same exact. The brand new person has the same exact products as the person who started the company.
Mm-hmm.
The brand new person has the same exact compensation plan as the person who's on the top number one spot. So what's the X factor? The individual.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm on social media and I'm following 5 people
Mm-hmm.
in a company,
Mm-hmm.
they all offer the same thing. So how would I? At what point do I make my deciding factor as to who I want to join? Am I going to join the person who never posts? Am I going to join the person who doesn't really seem like they're confident in themselves?
No.
Am I going to join the person who is not consistent and I don't even know if they'll be with the company 6 months from now?
No.
Nope. I'm going to join the person who's the opposite of all of that. I'm going to join the person who appears that they know where they're going. I'm going to join the person who's showing me that they're responsible for other people having success. I'm not just talking about financially. They're always showing examples of what people, the positive results that people are, experiencing from this product.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so a new person may say, well, if I just join, how can I show that? Well, you leverage it. Let me give you an example. Um, let's say you're the millionaire, and I just got started.
Mm-hmm.
And before I got started, you know, um, let's say that you had already helped 20 customers lose weight, have more energy, you know, lose inches, have a happier mood,
Mm-hmm.
be a better mom, be a better father, be a better significant other, be a better team member at the corporate office. All of the above, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a new person, you know what I would say? I would say, hey, my team and I have helped 20 people with this product. I'm latching my wagon on to them.
Absolutely.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so again, but I still got to be the one that's saying that because I want the people who are following me on social media to believe in me enough to where they trust that I can help them have success. Or even if they don't trust me, they trust that I'm connected to someone who can help them have success. Because a lot of it's not always us, but
Yeah.
they just want to know, can you help them?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't work in corporate. But let's say if you were looking for a job in corporate, I I can't personally help you, but guess what? My next door neighbor, who I'm really good friends with, they work in the HR department at this one company. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell them how amazing you are. And I'm going to let y'all have a conversation. And that's the person that's actually going to help you. I just played connected. But what would happen if I got paid? What would happen if the company said, you know what, Kamar, you connected us with such an amazing young woman. She's brought so much value to our organization. We're gonna pay you for that referral. And so that's what network marketing is. That's what I would tell the brand new person. You
Mhm.
have to have you don't have to have experience, but I believe confidence is a primary ingredient. I've never seen anyone have success without confidence. And so that's where putting yourself out there, that's where that comes from. You have to let people know that you have something to offer. No one's gonna show up in your DM and say, "Hey, I know you never post about Thrive,
But can you tell me about it?
but I just got a feeling that you are involved. Send me your link."
Ain't nobody doing that.
Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that.
Wow.
It just doesn't. But that's for any business. You
Hmm.
know, I've got friends who do lashes. You know how I found out that they did lashes? They didn't just walk up to me and say, "Kamar, I just want to let you know that I'm starting to do lash." I'm not a customer. I'm not a potential customer for them. So they have no reason to tell me that.
True.
But I found out because I saw them talking
Posting.
about it and posting on social media. So guess what? If there is a potential customer that says, "Hey, do you know anybody to do lashes?" I'll say, "Oh yeah, yeah." I'll send you to her page or his page. Whoever's providing that service,
Hmm.
it's easier for me. It's top of mind. If somebody say, "Hey man, I'm looking for an accountant," I'm automatically going to think about the people that I see on social media. Hey, I'm looking for a realtor. I'm automatically going to think about the people that I see on
Hmm.
social media.
They're posting, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a lot of times we think that network marketing we should have a different approach. No,
Hmm.
it's psychology. It's just business. It's life. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Hmm.
It works the same. People don't say, "You know what? When I look at a network marketing company, I'm going to look at it totally different than how I would look at anything else." No, people are looking for solutions.
Hmm.
If it just so happens to come through a network marketing company, great. But if not, no big deal. And so that's what it was like when I first got started. The reason I was able to hit my VIP bonuses was because I knew women who wanted to lose weight. Like I knew that. I didn't go on social media and start looking to attract people who didn't know me.
Hmm.
I went through my phone and I said, "Hey, I know this person's trying to lose weight because I've heard them complaining about their weight all the time.
Hmm.
Oh, I know this person could use Thrive because they always drink coffee and they always talking about how they got to take naps in the middle of the day and they're tired and they're drinking coffee and energy drinks." You know, um, I oh I know this person because they need some money. I think that this could be a good opportunity. And I know them. I don't have to come up with a marketing strategy for the people that I already have in my phone. And
True.
sometimes I think the dangers of a new person is they overthink it. You don't have to be this like marketing genius
Mm.
to introduce your next door neighbor
True.
or your cousin or your aunt or your uncle. You don't know. And truth be told, I don't care how great your marketing is. It don't impress them because they know you. They
Different approach.
they not impressed with that.
Hmm.
They not impressed with that. Strangers are. But when you're trying to move fast, you ain't got time to be learning,
Everything.
263 ways to engage an audience on social media. No, you need to pick up your phone
Start calling.
and yeah, start reaching out to people and start there.
True. Um, How, before I ask you about your inspiration, how do you handle rejection? Because you get rejection all the time. There are people that are going to be like, nope, 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 nope. How do
Yeah.
you deal with rejection?
You know, I just understand that it's a game and it's not it's not personal. Let me ask you this. You've been at a restaurant before when the waitress or the waiter came around to give you a refill on your beverage.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, "Oh no, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. No, no, thank you. I'm okay." They
Mm-hmm.
don't walk to the back to the kitchen and be like, "Oh my God, man, Char doesn't want a refill. Gosh, oh my God, maybe this career ain't for me."
Oh my God, you're
No,
ridiculous.
they don't. You didn't want a refill. It had nothing to do with them. It wasn't the right time. Or maybe you were engaged in a deep conversation and you just didn't want them giving you a refill at that moment. Or
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you realize you're about to leave in a minute and you don't want a refill. But for whatever reason, it probably had nothing to do with them,
True.
you know? And so that's what I think. A lot of times it's just not the right time for people. Now, don't get me wrong. Could there be a possible reason why they're telling me no? Yeah, it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't let that bother me. I just keep moving. I keep moving. I keep moving. I keep moving because guess what? Somebody's gonna want a refill. If I
True.
walk around this restaurant and I check with everybody, somebody's gonna want a refill right now. And then there are gonna be more who are gonna eventually want a refill in the next 30 minutes.
True.
My job is to not quit before they want a refill.
I've been talking to you. This is the first time we're having a conversation, and can I tell you the way how you break things down is unbelievable. Like the examples that you use right now, like they hit home like right away. Like you definitely did marketing.
It's psychology.
That too.
It's just seriously. It's just but you know why you're having an aha moment. It's because it's stuff that we already know, but for some reason we think it should be different when we get involved in a business. Like it's almost like we expect, and I say we because I'm guilty of it. I've done it. No one, listen. No one is immune to it. We all go through it and still go through it.
Yeah.
I think here's my thing. This is my philosophy, and it could be wrong, but I think a lot of times women have a harder time with rejection than men. Here's why. Here's why. Women ain't used to being told no.
What?
Women ain't used to being told no. It all goes back to childhood. When we're at school, the little boy is asking the girl, will she be his date to the dance? Or the boy is he's got to walk up to the girl in the cafeteria and ask for her phone number.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to ask. He gets told no a few times, and it don't feel good. But he built up kind of a thick skin,
Uh-huh.
and he realizes no, it ain't that bad. Maybe I'm gonna ask her again next week. Maybe she'll say, maybe she'll say yes next week. I don't know too many girls, and again, I know this is probably ignorant of me saying this, but this is just from my observation. I don't know too many women when I was growing up having to continue to ask a guy out on a date. I
Look,
just
the chat's agreeing with you right now. I can tell you the chat is agreeing with you right now.
yeah, they don't, you know, I just it's just when I say that it goes back. And so in network marketing, and let me just quit saying network marketing. In business, especially when you're in a performance-based business, to where if you don't ask, you don't get. No one is volunteering you, to spend their money with you. You gotta ask. I don't care if it's real estate. I don't care if you're a tax professional. When you are running the show, you have to get used to asking, and it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Again, you know that the young man, who's asking women out, he only has to get it right one time.
True.
He just need, and I'm using this as an example because real life experience. I remember being at Dave and Buster's years ago, and and my boy, he was like super confident. He was like very aggressive, when it came to the girls. I was the one who was more laid back. I was kind of shy, and so I had a fear of getting rejected. Like walking up to a girl, asking for her phone number, and she tells me no. And in my mind, everybody at the restaurant would see it, and they would laugh. And so I didn't want that judgment. You know what he told me? He said, "Man, I'm gonna keep asking until I get a yes." He said, "All I need is one yes." Seriously, his his philosophy was, all I need is one. He was like, I don't care how many say no. And so he taught me something that night. So when I got into business, I realized, you know what? I don't need everybody to say yes. But if I ask 100 people, let's say 5 or 10 say yes. When you agree, that's a pretty good business day, week, month. See, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I know I'm gonna get 10 yeses and 90 no's. Now I just got to decide, hey, do I want to get those 10 yeses in a day? Do I want to get them in a week? Do I want to get them in a month?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but once you know the numbers, it becomes a game. There, look, 52 card deck. There's 4 aces though.
Mm-hmm.
When you open the box and you take a card off and it's not an ace, are you pissed off?
I don't know. I don't know.
No. If I say, Shar, you find me 4 aces, I'm gonna pay you $1,000. You go through that first card
I
and
want
it's
to
not an
go.
ace. Yeah.
Keep going.
Hell, you're getting more excited because
Yep.
eventually you're gonna find the 4 aces.
Yep.
Like, it has to happen.
It has to be in there.
It has to be. It has to be. And so if we go through life, if we go through business, going out, talking to people, building relationships with people.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I saw that you were struggling with energy. Take a look at what I got. It may be able to help you. Oh, no, that's not for you. Okay, that's fine. Hey, I saw that you were looking for a way to lose a couple of pounds. Take a look at what it is that I'm offering. No, okay, that's fine. Eventually somebody's gonna say, yeah, wow, I'm glad you reached out to me. But for me to wait on them to message me, no.
Gonna take some time.
It's gonna take a long time. Because that's equivalent. That's tantamount in saying that the deck of cards will reveal itself to me. No, I gotta go through them.
Got to do the work.
I gotta do the work. They're there. They're waiting on me. And so that's how I deal with rejection. I don't take it personal.
These analogies are, oh my goodness. Nico, I want to thank you so much for that donation. Thank you so much for that, Nico. The chat is loving your advice, by the way. I just got to say, they're over there about it.
Oh, glad I could share something.
I want to ask, what's your inspiration? Like, what motivates you? What keeps you going? What keeps the fire there?
It's just living out this movie that I have in my head, and so I think, you know, so I know earlier you asked me, like what type of books do I read?
Mhm.
I read I read a lot of mindset stuff. Bob Proctor is probably I read his material the most. He has a program on YouTube called "You Are Born Rich." I highly encourage uh, anybody to check that out. It's like a six series, 6 videos. It's like 7 or 8 hours, and I just check it out from time to time. But uh, he talks about this concept of a lot of us are extras in our own movie. We're extras. Like why wouldn't you be the superstar of your own movie? If you're the director and you're calling the shots, who the hell would choose somebody else to be the star?
Man.
So there's a movie in my head, and every day I add a little something to the movie and I take something away. But there's a movie in my head that's playing all day, every day. And I get excited when I think about it. And so you say, well, what keeps you going? It's amazing how actors and actresses can read a script,
Mm-hmm.
something that's like totally fiction, and they can become that character, right? And they play it so well. Only the best actors and actresses can do this. We as human beings, our superpower is our ability to use our imagination to impact our life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so these actors and actresses, they study this script so well till they actually believe that they become this person. To the point to where long after the movie is over and they're done, it takes them a while to like kind of like come back to reality because they played that role so well, you know? And so I was fascinated by it because we've done it since we were kids. You know, we've all like imagine a little girl with the toy kitchen set for and she's pretending that she's cooking dinner for her kids. She's got a little Barbie dolls lined up, and she's pretending that she's making dinner and
Mm-hmm.
and and she's got the little miniature vehicle that her parents got her, and she's driving around in the
Yeah.
yard. In her mind, it's real. It ain't a toy. The little boy playing with his Hot Wheels or playing with his GI Joes, you know, uh, it's real. And so you act like, and then you become it. You become it. So I wake up in the mornings. I go work out. I eat well because that's what the character in my head does. He's he's living a healthy life. He's rich.
Mm-hmm.
What my so you start asking yourself questions. What does this character like to eat? What type of restaurants does this character like to go to? What type of car would this character drive? How does this character dress? What type of person does this character date? What type of books do this character read? And you start living it.
Mm-hmm.
You're the star of your own movie. Every time, think about it, every time you watch a movie. I'm gonna say this for the fellas. When you watching Scarface, you think you Tony Montana. You don't picture yourself as somebody else. When you watching Scarface, you imagine yourself as Tony Montana. When you watching Batman, you imagine yourself as Bruce Wayne.
Oh my goodness.
So why not be the star of your own movie?
True. Can I tell you, I'm listening to you, and it's kind of like I've heard motivational speakers, like I've talked, I've spoken to different people and stuff like that, But like you're really hitting home because your analogies, like let me tell you, they are so spot on. Like it's no joke. Like the chat is enjoying it, and like you're really like hitting home with the things that you're saying. I know I'm kind of blown away a little bit. Like,
I'll be honest with you.
oh,
Because that's how I understand things. So that's why I get so motivated about it, is because I'll be honest, I've read some books and listened to some motivational speakers, and their delivery was way above my head, and so I couldn't connect.
mm-hmm,
I'll share a short story. So when I was growing up, I grew up going to a Southern Baptist church where you be in church for 3-4 hours, you know, and the pastor was like just like yelling and screaming and all the
normal.
he was like spitting out these Bible verses, right?
Yep.
Well, I didn't like going to church because all of that stuff was over my head. I couldn't comprehend it. When I got older and I went to a non-traditional church where people was walking in with flip-flops, uh, basketball shorts, t-shirts, I was like, what? I looked out of place because I was like, Sunday, like I was casket clean. And they looking at me like
Plastic clean.
he ain't casket clean. They looking at me like he ain't from around here. They
Oh
walking around with Starbucks in their hand, like you didn't do that at the church I went to growing up, you know. Um and we were in church for an hour. They let the band play for 20 minutes. They worship and praise for 10 minutes. And then the pastor gave his speech in 30 minutes and we were gone. But his message was so concise, and
yeah.
it was he dumbed it down, and I felt empowered because this is something that I can use today. I don't need to go home and crack the Bible open and study,
Mm-hmm.
for hours to try to figure out, to try to decode what it is that he was trying to say. And so a lot of motivational speakers, I think that they pride themselves on sounding um, intricate, and the stuff goes over your head, and it makes them appear to be intelligent.
Yeah, you gotta go think about it and read between.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, that was deep. Like, I need to go lay down and
Oh,
take
I
a
need to
nap.
go think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was deep. And then you don't apply any of the stuff because you don't know what it means. So always looked for people who could dumb stuff down for me in a way to where like I can apply it. Like, man, tell me, don't give me the fancy thing. Just tell me what it is that I need. How do I need to look at this? You know, and so that's how I try to like communicate with people. I just try to make it. I just try to simplify it so that they can use it rather than me trying to sound like super wizard and all this stuff. And like, no, just tell people, give some people an example that they can relate to.
No, definitely, because I can tell you right now, I feel like picking up my phone and making phone calls. It's just, I'm just like, that's the energy that I'm getting from you, which is amazing. Because,
Yeah.
guys, we've never spoken before. This is our first time meeting, so it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I want us to talk about the Operation Winning.
Yes. Oh, yes. So I'll be honest now. I'll be honest. I'm bittersweet.
Why?
Because they didn't have these bonuses when I got started.
Oh well.
But it's all good though. I'm a team player, and so but I can still benefit. I've been with the company 5 years, and I can still benefit from this. But here's why it's exciting for the brand new person. Brand new person can come in. I mean, so let's back up a second. People pretend. There are a lot of people who pretend that they're doing well and they don't need no extra money. But just pay attention to your feed on social media of people who are excited about the stimulus check. And it's no shot. It's not. I'm not shooting. If you're excited about a stimulus check, I am not one to say, oh, well, you should get your priorities in check. No, no. Guess what? Hey, who ain't excited about some free money?
Hey, I want it.
I want it. I ain't talking down on it, but here's what I'm saying. It's a reminder to me that, man, there are people out here, they ain't trying to get rich. People out here they want a little cushion. They want just a little extra, just something
Yeah.
extra. They want a little something extra until they can believe for more. And so that's what the VIP 800 was for me. When I first started with Lavell, me earning $660 for referring $800 in business, man, that was powerful.
Yep.
It allowed me to believe, well, man, what'll happen if I get $1,000? What would happen if I get $1,500? I didn't jump in assuming, oh man, I want to be a millionaire. I want to make six figures. A lot of people say that stuff. They lying. Listen, so Operation Winning gives a brand new person the opportunity to have a situation where they're getting stimulus check type of money on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm.
How cool would it be to have that coming in every week, every Tuesday for the rest of the year? And so a brand new person gets started. You, along with your team, y'all do $4,000 in sales. Again, you combined with your team, y'all do $4,000 in sales. The company is going to reward you with $4,000. Now, some of you may say, well, you got that tough crowd that's like, I ain't impressed
Yeah.
with $4,000. That you listen. Don't kid yourself. You don't kid. You could use an extra $4,000. Like
Mm-hmm.
again, and people who could use an extra $4,000. These are the
Mm-hmm.
same people who are excited about the stimulus.
Yep.
Listen. I always tell people, don't get it twisted. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you ain't excited about $4,000, I guarantee you can't show me $4,000 in your savings account.
Woo!
I'm just saying. Sometimes we gotta be honest with ourselves.
Gotta be honest.
And here's why I'm talking, to your audience like this, is because my friend had to be 100% honest with me when he said, Kamar, you work harder than me. Why is it that you can't live the lifestyle that I live? He couldn't sugarcoat it. Him punching me in my gut like that is
He
what
was
got me to
frustrated.
take action. And so this type of conversation only works with people that you love and trust. You
Yep.
can't say this to a person you just met on social media yesterday. You can't tell them they need the money. But you can say this to your cousin. You can say this to your auntie.
Mm-hmm.
Your girlfriend that go have, cocktails or coffee with. You can say this to them. You can say, girl, hey,
Stop playing.
stop playing. Don't trip. Me and you both know you could use it.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you're that person who $4,000 don't really mean nothing to you. Guess what? The bonus goes up to 12,000. If 12,000 ain't enough for you, next stop is 40,000.
Yep.
Then 80,000. Then 200,000. So it's not a matter of if we got the money to pay you. That ain't the question. The question is how much of that is worth your time and your efforts. And listen, let's just say this. Let's say if you're that person, you got millions in your bank account right now. So none of this money impresses you. Let me say this. There's someone that you know who can benefit from this. Maybe they're not as fortunate as you are. Put this opportunity in front of them. That's the least
True.
you could do. That's the least you could do. Put this opportunity in front of them. Let them have a chance at it. You know, there was one time. So I told you. So I used to substitute teach,
Mm-hmm.
and I would run into my students like years later. So like when I was teaching them, they were in they were 12, 13 years old. I run into them years later. They're like 17, right? And they're looking for a job. I know a manager at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch this. I don't want to work at Walmart. But guess what? I know someone who can use the job. They can use the money.
Mm-hmm.
It would be wrong of me to say, you know what? Because I don't want to work at Walmart, I ain't telling nobody about any opportunities at Walmart. No, I was able to connect that manager with that teenager, and they got a job.
Mm-hmm.
I felt good about it because I connected someone. Walmart needed an employee. This teenager needed a job.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't benefit from that financially. You know, I didn't benefit from that. And so if you're that person and you just got millions of dollars in the bank and the money that Shar and I are talking about, that just don't impress you. I get it. Put the opportunity in front of somebody who could benefit from it.
Absolutely.
That's the least you could do. That's the least you could do.
Absolutely. I agree. And guys, in case you just joining us and you're a little bit lost, we were talking about Kamar's story, and we were talking about the amazing company, Lavell, um, that's out there changing lives, really. Whether you want to be a promoter or you just want to use a product, either ways, it's changing your life. I know what it's done for me. Like, y'all see me on here and you see my videos, and I have a lot of energy. Don't know where I get it from, but I can only chalk it up to saying it's from Lavelle. So I'm just gonna say it's a product that gives me the energy, and not just energy, but the mental clarity um, that comes with it as well. Because y'all know, to be a YouTuber, to be creative, to be putting out content and stuff like that, you do need to have mental clarity. So the products, guys, like, I can't rave about them enough. They're amazing. You guys always see me, with the patch. Where is it? Where is it? It's right here. There we go. Right here.
Always keeping it nearby.
Yep. There you go. I want to say, well, look at that. Yeah. So, guys, it's a three-step program, real simple. You take your pill in the morning, and then 20 minutes later, you have your shake. Shake is amazing, by the way. And then you put on your patch, and you're good to go. Um, I'm just gonna read one of the comments. Mental benefit is great. I love helping others in a narcissistical way. Oh my God. Oh, there was a question for you before. It was a fun question. They were asking if you were married.
No, you know, you know what's funny?
Oh.
I used to answer that question. I used to tell people, I was like, no, I'm married to the game. I'm married to the
Oh.
business. But I'm just having fun with that. That's my silly side.
Yeah, that's your silly side.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, so everybody's like axing. So,
Oh, you know what? Speaking of Valentine, let me. I gotta share this story. So I gotta share this story. So years ago, I was dating this girl, right?
yeah.
And I loved her. Like, I loved the ground she walked on, right? But we had meetings. We had weekly meetings for my company. So we don't do this in Lavell. So that's one of the things I love about Lavell is we're able to really grow a business,
Hmm.
a legitimate business from anywhere remotely. This particular business that I was in years ago, we had these weekly meetings. We,
Mm.
and you physically had to go to the meeting because you had guests that you had invited, and someone would stand in front of the room and do a presentation. These meetings were every Tuesday night. They were Tuesday night before I met her. They continued to be Tuesday nights while I was with her,
Yeah.
and they continued to be Tuesday nights after me and her were done. So while we were together, Valentine's Day, guess what? Fell on a Tuesday.
Oh, don't tell me you were in a meeting.
No, watch this. Because here's what I'm saying. A lot of times, and I'm not gonna beat up on the women. So I'm gonna just keep it neutral. Because I'm sure there are guys who
No, I beat up on them. I already did that. I already did that.
Listen, people, there are men and women always talk about how they want an entrepreneur or they want somebody that's ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to say that, and then when you get them, you got to be a special type of person to love an entrepreneur. It's like being in love with a mad scientist. And so watch this. Me trying to be proactive. I looked at the calendar a week in advance. I said, "Hey, babe, we can go out to dinner Monday, or we can go out to dinner Wednesday. But we can't go out Tuesday. I gotta be at that meeting. I gotta be at that meeting." Now, keep in mind that here's the thing. I wasn't going out. I didn't ask for much, So I wasn't the type of guy that would go hang out in clubs at late at night with the fellas. I always put my lady before the fellas. I'm saying, hey, we can sell it. I'm not trying to take your special day away from you. It's 365 days in a year, but you want this one day. Crazy. this one day I gotta prove to you that I love you. Can we celebrate that day on Monday, or can we celebrate that day on Wednesday? And she had a fit.
It's not the same.
I was like, oh my God. And and I said, listen. And I had to kind of I had to give her a reality check. I said, listen, when you needed new tires on your car, and I helped you out with that came from me getting people to those Tuesday night meetings. Your Valentine's dinner will be paid for by this bit. So listen, if we want to keep eating the eggs, we can't kill the chicken.
I can't.
We can't kill it. If you want to continue eating eggs, you can't kill the chicken.
True.
So that's my every Valentine's Day from that point on. If I'm dating somebody, I'm like, listen.
Tuesdays.
If I got a Zoom, if I have a Zoom, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you wanted to do this interview the evening of Valentine's Day,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to have a conversation with somebody. Like, hey, look, don't trip. We gon' this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And you know what? And it sounds cutthroat, but it's like, you know what? If you're not with and this goes for both men and women, because there are some guys out there that give they woman a hard time for going out there trying to make a better life for herself. So it goes both ways. It ain't just the women.
Yeah.
But if you're with someone, and they giving you a hard time, I'm just letting you know, it's only a matter of time before that ship will sink. It's just, seriously, it is, if a person has a problem with you trying to better yourself,
mm-hmm.
and you bettering yourself benefits you both,
it's great.
It's gonna be tough, and I'm not gonna say, oh, you should cut them loose, because it's not that easy. It's when you care about somebody it's not that easy to just cut them loose because they don't support your goals and dreams. But
Mhm.
that ship will sink eventually.
That's true, though. That's true. You both need to agree
Absolutely.
on something. Yeah, somebody in the comment section said Tuesdays are off limit.
Tuesdays off. Yeah, that was my old company. We don't do that now. But it's funny. I mean, but like that was like real talk. Like she didn't respect my hustle because it looked different from hers. You know, and so she felt like because I wasn't corporate, then my little side business wasn't important. And I had to help educate her like, hey, no, this little side business is what pays the bill whenever we go out to eat, because you ain't picking up no checks. you know
You.
the when your roommate, because we weren't living together, and so when her roommate was short on the rent, my little side business is what helped
Pay for
you
the rent. Hey.
keep from getting evicted. So you and your roommate both owe me dinner. Y'all would have been homeless.
I can't. Oh my
Matter
God.
of fact, your roommate, you know what I should have said? I should have said your roommate should be one of my customers.
Exactly. Oh my God. Oh my God. I enjoy this conversation so much. It's absolutely a pleasure meeting you. And don't disconnect after we come off because I do want to talk to you afterwards.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure.
If you guys have anything that you want to say or ask in the chat, you can go ahead and drop it. Because we can go on and on because this guy, but we might move from Lavell to something else. So,
Right.
so guys, again, this is Kamar. He's one of the top income earners at Lavell as well. Like he's up there in the numbers. And I have his Instagram scrolling across the screen that you can actually go follow as well. You hear him talk. He's amazing. He puts it down. He puts it down to basics for you guys. So yes, he was great. Blessings to everyone in the chat. Yeah, Mika, thank you so much for popping in. Thanks to
Thank you.
everybody. Yeah, it was a pleasure having you on this platform. I'm sure.
Pleasure all mine.
I mean, the chat loved you, and I'm sure I'll have you again to talk with everybody. Again, thanks everybody for coming through. Tough man, everybody. Can't call everybody's name. 16, Nico, O'Shane. Big up on yourself. See you guys later. Bye.